we cannot.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, the answer is even the artist himself cannot copy his own work like this. It's all accidental. So
Oh, wait a minute.
You have to have an idea in mind.
the answer is even the artist himself cannot copy his own work. Okay, I'm going to record before we continue. Record. Okay. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. We are still waiting for a few more people that we got most of you, I think. Great. So how is your break? Spring break.
How was yours?
Oh, that was great. I didn't got summoned actually. Yeah, I just prepared for this class all the time, and I also prepared for another class following this one. I visited a friend, and did I show you? I took 2 pictures with Chang Dai-chien's painting in the handout I sent you a couple days ago. That was more hanging, in a friend's home in Pasadena. She's the granddaughter of Qian Song-yan. She herself is an art historian and now a real estate agent in LA. So we decided to co-host a class next week. I invited Monica today, but I don't know if she will come join us today, but she will be here next week to introduce her grandpa's painting style. It's a very famous, let me type the name here, Qian Song-yan. You can check his information online. He was born in the same year as Chang Dai-chien, I think, 1899, I think. And that's the master. He's a leading master of the Nanking school, new Nanjing School of Landscape Painting. Co-founder of the school with Fu Baoshi, Fu Baoshi was the first president of the Academy of Jiangsu province, and he was the second, I think. And write to the name in Chinese if someone needs that. Qian Song Yan. His name means pine and the rocks, so he is really good at pine and the rocks. So for the first time I saw the painting. I think I have on my computer. Let me check. How many of you visited the last exhibition in San Francisco last year? We didn't have, I think it was closed due to the pandemic, right? We got at least several students who went there before the lockdown.
Oh yes, I did, Henry, and it was wonderful. Joanne Sullivan and I went up there, and we were there exactly before the lockdown. We came home on March 1st.
Oh my.
Yeah. And
that's great.
So we were able to see, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was mesmerizing, really, to see the difference in the real paintings when you're surrounded by the sound of it. It really was like the sound and all the color. It was truly a gift. Yeah.
Yeah, I have difficulty to scroll the pictures. I don't know, its computer is frozen on me. Maybe I got too many windows running. Let me close this one, I think. Okay. Oops, did I close everything?
No, you're okay.
I'm fine. Okay. Yeah, my computer is frozen. It might crash now. just just
You
wait.
need to get out and get back in.
Because yeah, I tried to scroll the pictures. You see, it just frozen.
Oh,
Okay,
there
now
it
it's moving. Okay,
Yeah.
I tried
There it is.
to find the. Okay, let's just go through this while we talk.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so the size of the painting you saw, that was who was the speaker? Let me turn on.
Yeah, it's Lisa. Yeah.
Lisa,
Yeah.
can you describe? It's like a huge size, right?
It's
Huge.
huge.
Yeah,
It
they are
really
huge.
feels like you're standing in that space. Yeah.
So they're, yeah, I never saw the large scale paintings myself.
Mhm.
Okay, my computer has some problem. It just keep frozen. Maybe, let me see. I just hope it will keep up. Anyway, I'm going to start with making colors, preparing colors. Okay, can you see my table? Okay, now. Then we need to prepare the color. If you watch the video of his painting process, he had several assistants, his daughter and maybe son-in-laws, helping him preparing all the materials, right? Yes, he's 80 years old, so he must have some help. And the brush itself so heavy, like mop. The first thing I'm going to use is the 凝胶 or gelatin. It's an animal glue. It's used as a binding. So when you use the heavy mineral colors, you need to blend it with this. Some of the color, they have already got some light glue in it, but we might need more, so it will not, you know, drop when you re-wet or wet mount it. Okay. I will use a little warm water. I don't know how long it will take. Usually you put in cold water overnight, and then you add more water. But I just use hot water overnight, warm water. And I'll use my finger glove. You see my finger all got, green and blues. I did some experiments last night. Let me show you. Oh, you can see from the small image behind me. Yeah, see that one? I did it more than this too. But you can see the experiment I did, right? And I also mounted a paper to prepare for the next demo. Anyway, so I'm going to protect my fingers using using this finger glove. You can, I think it's called the finger gloves. You can get, or you can use this is my wife Victoria's size, just like this if you want. It's just like a finger painting equipment, we did that. And then, so you can use your fingertip to grind the glue or the pigment. I hope not. This saucer, it's best to use something like ceramic, so they don't melt itself, I hope. Okay, I think it's melting pretty fast. I don't know the solution, it might be too thin, or I think it's okay.
Henry, do you carry this glue?
Yeah, it's called the Mingjiao gelatin.
Gelatin.
Gelatin. You just check gelatin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Gelatin
you.
is like the similar to Jello, but it's different. As this is for painting, not for eating. Okay.
Henry,
Yes.
I have only the peach glue.
Oh yeah, that could be used, but the peach sap may not so permanent as because it might yeah, you can use that alternatively, but Mingjiao is the best because it's waterproof after it dries. The peach sap, usually we add that as we go, but would not use as a binding for mixing, preparing colors. Okay, you can use that. If not, if the Mingjiao is not enough, you can add. When you dilute, you can use peach sap. And to mix, I use Mingjiao. So this is it's a little sticky. I think it's probably just like you make a Jello, before it gets solid, you can see a little bit color or something like that. I don't think it's a science, it's a craft. So it could be a little thicker or thinner, doesn't matter. Okay, the first color I prepare is the Dai-chien. Dai-chien is the first grade, number one blue, because they come in three class or three layers, I think, in darkness. Three grades, maybe called. Tou means the first, so we just number them. Number one. It look like this, not so dark, but when it's okay, let me mute noise here. Okay.
Henry, this one is okay.
Which one? Let me see, color review. Which one?
Can you see? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. I talk about that later, okay? I'll talk about tube colors because you don't need to prepare them. I'm talking about how to prepare the traditional pigments today.
Okay, so
That's what Zhang Dai-chien, Master Zhang Dai-chien used. He didn't use the tube. That's the reason I want to talk about this first. Okay, the painting process would not take that long, but preparing may take a little time. So let me just estimate what I need today. It could be a lot, right? Let me just, because this saucer is very convenient. It will dry after you use, and you can add more water to melt again. So it comes with a lid. We don't have many sets left. It comes with this 5. So you can stack them together. It doesn't take much space. We used to have a different size like this. We sold out already. Okay, so let me just pour a little. Maybe that's too much. Anyway, so
Henry, is this different from the chips?
they don't come in chips. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Chips only. Let me show you. We got indigo chips and yellow Chang, plus amber chips. The blue does not come in chips. Traditionally, they come only in the form of powder. That's why I need to show you how to do this. So you put a little gelatin there. Maybe if it's too thick, maybe we add more water, but just like making a dough, you know, not much technical, just using your fingertips. You can see her, his wife's or daughter doing this in the video, in some of the documentary. So they use fingertips to grind like this. So I'm wearing a glove, a finger glove. If you use your bare finger, your nail make up green or blue. So it's probably too much. I'm not very used to the, so you can add more pigments if not enough, I think. Okay.
Henry, is
Yeah.
this, I have this package. Does this look like the paste that you're using?
The paste?
Is this the paste that you're using? Can you see it?
I can't.
The right
see.
color.
Let me put you guys on the gallery views. I don't need to watch myself actually, so I can see everybody. Okay, this is the. I don't know what's that. Did you get from us?
No, I bought it in New York at an art store, but it looks,
You didn't say what kind of glue. It says glue powder. I
It looks
assume,
like-
yeah, if it's crystal, it's a gelatin.
Okay,
It could be
thank you.
another is the gum Arabia, but I think they will say it is Arabia, gum Arabia. So this could be, yeah, I think if they didn't specify, and this should be gelatin, yeah. Okay, so this is the, let me just show you the color. Just use paper towel. So it's not very intense, you know. Actually, the tube color is much more vibrant. So probably you just stay with that. So we just stay with that, yeah. So I'm not going to make every color. I think I just maybe make another one with the first grade of the most intense grade of green. Just
Henry?
Yes.
Henry, when I was in China, I bought this package. They're glass.
Okay. Yeah, these are called what they call the mineral colors. They are all mineral colors. It's introduced from Japan, I think. Yeah, it's similar to this. They are all mineral, but they are more than green and blue we need. It's
Right.
yellow, you know, stone yellow. It's all opaque. Yeah, you can
So
use
it's-
them. Yeah, yes,
Okay.
that's good. I think Chang Dai-chien may have access to these colors because his color is very exhibit, and he studied in Japan. You know, he studied dye in the what do you call the fabric dyeing
Sorry.
school. He got the graduate from. He was a trained engineer maybe in color making. So he's spent 3 years in Dunhuang, the Buddhist cave, copy the mirrors, and he used hundreds of pounds of these colors, green and blues, believe it or not. So he's really good at those colors.
What number green are you using?
The green is his first grade. First,
Oh, okay.
the intense, yeah. The smaller the number, the lighter.
Oh, okay.
Hue, yes. This is the darkest hue, the most intense grade.
Thank you.
Maybe I just put the whole thing, but I try to do another demo next time, and so I don't have to. Okay, so this time I put a little less liquid, just grind it. again. I think it doesn't take much time. Just it will dissolve itself. You know, use your fingertip. It will make it faster. And I see some on some painting, some particles look like a dry powder. Maybe he just put the powder directly on the painting. Who knows? And then put a liquid, you know, glue on it, and then with water to rain or whatever. You know, you could be creative. I can't imagine how that was done. The particles floating on the dark surface. Speaking of the color layering in his art, you know, this color looks very chalky, right? Doesn't have any hue at all. If you put directly on the white paper, it doesn't really impress you. But if you put on dark ink plus indigo background, I showed the documentary just moments ago before we start. He used ink and then indigo when it's still wet. Ink must dry, because if you put this on the ink surface, what I learned yesterday is it just vanished. So no matter how many pounds you spend, it just turned black. So the ink must be dry. Then you wet it with indigo, diluted indigo. And when the indigo is still wet, you apply mineral colors. That's how simple it is, right? Sounds. But if I don't tell you, you can watch 100 times, but you won't get it. I got it by error and try and error. Okay. So you have to really paint, and you think it's so easy, just pouring. Everybody knows, but the difficult part is not pouring water; is how to guide it. And the vehicle of the pigments is water and glue, maybe also. So we need to learn how to master this. Okay, let me keep preparing, see what okay, the tubes, right? So we got the indigo, and I got some chips already here. I just maybe, if you put warm water, it will always faster. Not too hot, maybe just a little warm water, because the binding is gelatin. Gelatin melt with water. It's kind of too much. That's the problem. Let me just put it. Okay.
Where do you put the warm water?
Oh, I just melt the chips, indigo chips.
I see.
See if I have chips here.
I see.
Yeah, I have chips. I can show you the chips look like. Yeah, they come in chips. Yeah. I just add some. I got some left over. It's dried, so you just let it dry. You don't want to keep it in a sealed container. It will turn stinky because the gelatin smells if it turn bad. So you need to let it dry after use. And then you can always situate it with water. Okay, and you can grind your chip with your fingertip. Also, I just let it melt itself. See, it's so easy. That's indigo. Indigo chip is really nice. It's just like this blue, beautiful blue and the white. They use indigo also, I think. Anyway, the yellow chunk comes like this chunk, but originally it looked like this. It's a bamboo tube they used to receive the sap from the wine called a plant called gamboge. So it's called gamboge yellow, 藤黄. And you can use peach sap to control the bleeding and add adhesiveness. Oh, this is amber. I need to get an amber. Let's see. Okay. I also use some Western colors. I found this Winsor Newton is dried up already. Artist grade burnt sienna. It's very nice color, and it's much stronger than the traditional Chinese. Let's see. I just find box. Okay, here. Umber is a base color for the greens. It's called the complementary color. I got some umber from tube, some from chip. Here I add some maybe. The tube color look much reddish than the chip one. You can make your own umber, you know, from red soil, and you can sim it and use gelatin to create your own. We don't do that anymore. The old
Henry, when you say umber, do you mean burnt sienna, or do you mean
umber? Is umber, U-M-B-E-R? Or I don't have, actually I don't have to add binding, you know, the glue to this one, because the umber chip comes with glue already. But I have some left over from the tube umber. See, this is a reddish, very strong reddish umber. It's almost like the burnt sienna, but burnt sienna has a different binding. It's called gum arabica, which is not permanent. So when you re-wet it, it will melt. And it will not blend with other Chinese colors or ink. The Chinese ink also use gelatin. Okay, so this is umber. I got yellow here, but we don't use much yellow. But you can use yellow to get yellow and indigo to get a transparent green. I got some here last night. I just mixed gamboge and indigo, get a grass green. This is good to add hue to the dull kind of green. You know, you can add some vibrancy, you know, some color to that, some saturation, we call it. Yeah. Okay. So you can prepare your color like using this kind of saucer or any, you know, Chinese restaurant style saucer would be the best. So individually you need a color. Also you need a bowl for ink maybe. So I will see what we need as we go later. So.
Henry, if you're using the tube indigo, do you need to add the glue, right?
Okay, let me show you what the indigo is just blue. You use that as you see in the documentary as a preparation for the greens, the opaque greens. Okay, let me show you what I got yesterday. So last night I painted with these colors. I just show you here. Let's see, I used the first number, you know, the number one mineral green. I used a sponge in the saucer, so this could be a plier. You know, it also keeps moist. I find it's useful. I use a sponge with that, and this is second grade, second and first green, mineral green, and this is the I got second green here and the third grade blue. We don't have second grade blue or third grade green with the powder in our store, but you can get around, I think.
So what's the difference between the tube and the chips you are using?
It's more chemical, I think. Although I'm not sure what's the exactly different, but the hue is more natural. You will see the indigo and this indigo. It just this is indigo. This is like a true blue jean. This is like a cheap fake color. I don't know if you can tell that it's vibrant, right? This is where. Let me just show you on the.
Which one is the chip? Which one is the tube? You have two of them, right?
Okay, this is the tube. Okay, and this is the tube. Can you see the difference? This is just the. Okay, but you can always change it. Add some other colors, add ink, add something else. Okay.
My example tube.
Okay. Yeah, this is what is this?
Tube.
Tube color of blue,
Yeah,
mineral blue, first
yeah,
grade,
yeah, first.
and first grade green. So the Victoria is also painting maybe. Okay,
The very the dried tube,
Yeah.
the
Okay. Yeah, we have a
secondary one.
Henry, Henry,
yeah.
with your tube indigo blue, will it be more like the chip blue if you added a little bit of ink?
Well, you not just the ink. Maybe you add. I don't think ink will mute it. Yeah, if you want intense blue, you can add indigo or add even cello or something. We have other colors like a Persian or something. Nowadays you have so many blue. I used this one actually yesterday. It works perfectly. I believe it's the peacock. The peacock blue. It's a little, similar to this, but intensity, but it's much bluer. So we also have cerulean kind of or cobalt blue. They are all similar, I think. And this is the third grade. It is what used on, but I think the master used only the traditional ones. So you can see this on this little picture on the bottom. You can see here, it's only second grade blue and there's maybe third grade greens or second grade, and a little bit amber on top. This is how simple it is. Yeah, we probably should do this. And the main thing is the composition. How he make the flow. It's like a effortless, but it's so difficult to do. The composition. And this one has gold in it. Yeah, speaking of gold, I think we have a tube gold if we need. We also have bottled gold like a Pentel poster color, opaque gouache gold, and some other form of, you can use golden paper also, but it's more difficult to paint. Okay, this is a vibrant color, very intense. I think he mixed his colors, so he got yellow and blues into the mineral, maybe got this intense greens. These are opaque blues. We'll see how we go around. This is a mix of yellow, indigo, and mineral. I don't think it's a mineral color alone. This middle one is more pure color, but it always has indigo under it. So, or some yellow or something. It's the process. You mix it on the paper, and the most important is the dark behind. Because if you don't have dark, Do you find anywhere he, maybe here, he used a little bit of green? But these are semi-transparent, not the thick ones. If you see this kind of dark green or a very chalky green and blues, these are always located in the dark part. So in concept, this is to break the ink, You understand? I wrote it on. I wrote it up. The idea, the philosophy of that. So it's not pouring ink; it's breaking ink. In essence, is to rescue your mistakes. So I always pour ink on my failed painting. I never started a fresh paper until today to attempt a painting like he does. I always pour ink on my failed painting. That's what I think is appropriate to do. You cover it up. You break it. Yeah. Okay. This is just a pure ink pouring to start with. You can continue on this base. That's a good example of before the pouring color. He didn't invent it. He said it was recorded in Tang Dynasty, but nobody saw them relics any. He is the first master who really recreated this legendary pouring ink style. This could be a very light pouring ink. You can. Okay, I think his process is different from artists like Liu Haisu. We learned in the same period he started pouring ink on his Huangshan. We did that, right? The last the class, maybe 3 class earlier. So he would draw the contour and then pour. His process maybe he started with pouring ink and then come back with the details. So it's very different. This is very simple highlight pouring, not. So maybe everybody can do this without a pour of color today, right? So you can just drop a little bit. This one like this. So I was asked which one to do. You tell me which one you like. If particularly if you see this, just to give a shot. And this is pouring ink basically with indigo, a little blue. I think the other day I saw a painting like this in Monica's home. It will come up later. It's similar to that style. Okay, this one has white on it. You don't have to because you don't have this golden paper. This is a golden shrine or shikishi board, I believe. So white. I did this yesterday on an antique paper. So we might do this. I got white here. I got white. So I'm ready to pour some white also. These are from the dried tube, so don't throw away your dried tube. If you like, we have many dried Maurice colors. I'm thinking to put it on sale. So today I just show you how to use them. These are from the dried tube. You just open the tube with the scissors and or cutter, and then keep it. They won't not because they got some antifungal or something. It will not turn sticky as the traditional one. So I can keep the lid on. It's very
Henry, what kind of white is that?
It's just the Maurice white. I think it's a titanium white.
Okay, it's not a Doc Martin.
It's in the Maurice painting.
Gracias.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, this color he used might be different. He might use some traditional powder kind of. Let me get some water for myself to drink.
What is white powder?
The white powder comes with a shell, seashell.
Can we get that?
We don't sell them separately. There's a set we used to sell. I think we still have, it has included that. It has a set of all the chips and the pigments, powders, including a bag of white. That's why I know. But you have to use the glue. They don't come with glue. This is not so convenient. I don't think that the white make that much difference. So
Okay.
you can use many alternatives like Dr. Martin's white. I also have this white.
Sakura white.
The liquid. It's for illustrators. The white. We used to have white bottled white ink. This is white ink from Japan. We also had some. We sold out. We only have transparent white, which won't.
Oh,
This is blotting, I think. I like this one. It's very simple, you know, S-shaped composition. You know, the main thing my challenge was to keep the paper flat. You cannot get this so smooth with a single blot of transition or whatever, you know, gradation without wrinkling or buckling. If you don't mount it. So he had his painting stretched, mounted on board, right? And that's why I did many small paintings, but yeah, just kind of difficult to keep it flat.
So Henry, can you paint on mounted paper that's not quite dry yet, that's still wet?
Maybe not good. I never tried. You can try because it might lose that glue before it dries. It might. I don't know if you could paint on that because we're using a lot of water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just paint it with dry brush, no problem. But yeah, just maybe you can use a hair dryer to dry it before you do, and then wet it. It's
Okay.
ridiculous, but you don't have to wet it again. Yeah, after it dries. Just set the glue. And this is how he does his work. Sometimes you don't see the board. I think this is not the pouring ink technique though. Oh, this is nice. This is on a non-paper surface. I think it's a silver metallic board or something, gold even. You can unmute yourself if you need. Okay. And see, he used gray ink first, then dark, the darkest ink, right? Maybe, you know, medium first, or start from light, you know. I found that if you start from dark first, you kind of limit yourself to that. You cannot really touch anything anymore. So don't start with the darkest. You could start with the darkest and then dilute it with the water and then add more dark. Yeah. Oh, that's the picture I talked about earlier. It was just last week. I visited this friend's home and I saw this this original Chang Dai-chien. It has no green and blue. That's good. You can see, you know, the state before it's finished with more, you know, color. But I like the softness in that. It feels like almost it's still wet, you know. You see the raining. So he wet the paper first before pouring always. But he used sized paper. See how wet it is? It's all soft, right? But yeah, this, I think the trace of the brush stroke is in the middle. So that's all raining towards the side. So water goes to the dryer place. So he didn't wet the whole thing. That's why the water keeps expanding towards the margin, from center. So the center has more water, and then maybe more water here radiate from there towards the margin. And he also used the brush to guide it, to create channels, canals, or what do you call this, transportation routes for the, okay, sometimes no color, just the ink pouring. And it's a bold, like just one single, I think it could be photography. Yeah, sometimes it's very abstract, in between likeness and dislikeness, right? This one is more traditional, I think. And his composition again is so different from ancient style, but he's very traditional. He is greatest forger of museum quality ancient pieces. This screen he did for his daughter. Did you see this in San Francisco? I believe it's in US, Lisa? Not this one.
Wait, we saw one almost like that.
Yeah, on screen, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge screen.
Yeah,
that's
but the other ones that he did were maybe 4 to 5 panels wide, as you can see, like the length of it.
Yeah.
They were huge.
Yeah, you can see how big these paintings are. And he did all over his late 60s to into the 80s. He died at 85. Still working on the largest piece, like 1.8 tall and 13 meters long or something like that. This was the most expensive. This is the detail of that. It's called Aachen Lake in Austria, right? This is a record-setting piece, and it has the. I think this is the real picture of the area he stayed in Sweden or Austria, maybe on the border where. And you can see
which lake is this?
ACHAN or EN, Aachen Sea, or in German it's a can you pronounce that? Because he translated into Chinese as Aihenhu. It's so that's why how I remembered.
Yes.
So,
and you did mention it in your handout, so the spelling is in your handout.
Aihen. That's German, I think, and just in English on Google, you can search under this. So this is a interesting project. You can compare his painting with a real scenery. So he does this, with the impression of the place. Does it look like the picture? Exactly, right? So we can paint with this picture, and with his inspiration and that picture almost identical, right? See.
Henry, do you know anything about his process of interacting with a real landscape in terms of his inspiration?
Yeah, there's documentary. He painted the Montreal cypress. It shows the entire process. He picked the tree and he kind of directed the documentary, saying, "I'm going to do this tree." He sits under the tree, took a picture, and then he go home without any reference photo, please. It's all in his mind. He did that cypress tree. Did you watch that one?
Yes.
He did it in California, in Camille, right?
Yeah, Point Lobos. I think that's Point Lobos.
Camille. That's
No,
his
you said
reference.
Kamel.
Camille.
Carmel, yeah.
Camille. Yeah. Okay. I checked on Google Map. If you search Arkan Lake, you'll find pictures people share from the area, and this amazed me because I feel the chi. Zhang Dai-chien must have seen this pouring clouds, right?
Yeah,
This very inspiring picture.
I'm planning a trip going there, so
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
interested.
That's my dream place, definitely. And you can see all the colors he used: the gold, the blue. The blue. I think could be clouds, could be forest, but he does not care what it is. It's the
Yeah, I know.
he has
like
yeah.
color.
He
Yeah,
has
but the people
entered
ask,
the excuse me, he has entered the third stage we call, like Huang Junbi also talked about. We learn from ancient people first, then when we learn from nature, and the last stage is learn from your heart. You get, you have to follow your heart. And he has lost his vision when he does this, and it's all in his mind. He has one eye almost completely blind. So he does that with mind image. Yeah, this is another image I encountered somewhere. It looked like, when I search Google, it pops up. It looked like Zhang Dai-chien, maybe someone's seascape picture. From thumbnail, I thought it was Zhang Dai-chien's painting. But you can see, how universal his image become. That's why he become what we call Picasso in the East. They actually met in France in person, the two giants. Yeah. I like this lavender color. You can mix some rouge with mineral green to get this, and you can just glaze rouge on the green to get the purple shade also. I think this was pre-mixed, but we don't have this in really made in the tube or chipped or whatever. This you must make yourself. This is so nice. I think he added these details after the pouring, but you could do this cliffs first, if you don't have these mountains in your mind. And this is on silk. Multiple. I think some are. This one looked like early work or.
Henry, can you use these pigments when you're painting on silk?
Yeah. You can use same pigments on that. Yeah. Look at this one. It has very few spots, but I think it's all light ones. But the dark ones has a very clear. We talked about grouping, large, medium, and small. So try to pour with these three elements: large, medium, and small. And this is a C-shaped composition, a reverse C. This is a T-shaped, I'll say. Try to think a letter, when you try to, simplify the composition. So you keep the big image in mind. This is his traditional painting after Shitao. He could paint Shitao. He could create Shitao and then to fall the connoisseurs like Huang Binghong. This is a nice lake view. This is a tree. This is something. Look through the whole. So semi-abstract kind of. I like this one a lot.
Mhm.
But this is the biggest image I can get. Maybe, I mean, I try to reproduce this one.
The tree
Did
is
he
interesting,
st-
Henry,
Oh.
because the tree is interesting because it has all the different colors and it
Yeah.
also has some shapes to it.
Yeah, yeah. You got to have this this little thing. That's his trademark. If you don't have this kind of line dot, in addition to this big blocks, it just too
Mm.
barbaric, you know.
Mhm.
Right. And your previous one with the blues and greens with the tree.
Yeah, you probably have seen this one in the exhibition. I saw it on the cover of the
Yes.
book. I ordered on Amazon. It's only $16. They said it will arrive the next day in a drugstore, but it didn't. I couldn't get it. Yeah, I'll get it this afternoon. But
Yeah.
that's
so-
that's the image on the
What
on
book
the
is
cover.
that? What book is that?
It's
The catalog.
from heart to hand, Dai-chien, from heart to hand. You can buy on Amazon for $13. It will deliver to you free if you're a Prime member. $16, yeah. From heart to hand, Dai-chien's paintings or something like
I
that.
have the book, so I'm putting the cover up for people to
Oh
see.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Dai-chien, from hand to hand. Yeah, that's the tree we're looking at. Right. Okay. Can you see Daisy's? Let me just spotlight you for a minute. Let me see how to do that. Okay. I cannot spotlight you. Anyway, yeah. I think that's the image on the catalog. Yeah.
We can
Thank you.
see.
Yeah. Okay. So
Henry,
yes.
wait a minute. Which is the best way of his name? Because it's ZHANG or
No best way. Just different different romanization system. The Giles he used himself is the CHANG. That's a Giles, the old romanization system used in old books, and the ZH is the Chinese official system called the Pinyin. They use
Okay.
in mainland China. I think Taiwan still follow the old Weijiao system, Weijiao system for romanization. It's the same. Not. I think Weijiao may be easier to read to pronounce. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the detail, and you can see the two colors interplay, the green and the blues. The first shade, it has indigo. It has indigo behind, and ink. Yeah, this one is just ink and silk.
Mm.
I don't know what this. Okay, some just. This is the Niagara Falls compared to
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And this one is very interesting. It's on golden board or paper. It's only as small as this, but it has the white and blues, and you can see this that small image is too small. This is almost like what we call the 屋漏痕, the leaking stains on wall, right?
Could you try on Shikishi board to do something like this?
Shikishi gold, it could be, yeah.
Shikishi
But
gold?
Shikishi ancized maybe not suitable. Shikishi gold. I don't have Shikishi gold in hand. Yeah, this is definitely sized paper. See the hard edge. This, what do you call this line? Puddle edge. It's the size. It's almost like a watercolor. You can do this on hot press watercolor paper, if you will.
Oh.
This is C-shaped composition. We should start with this. Okay, that's the. I just don't know how to get these powders. Maybe just you know, I got some very dry from the tube. It's very powdery, so I use a sponge to just fake it. It's kind of, maybe he has some thick glue to separate them. You know, it's not entirely grinded, so it has the particle in the glue, water or something like that. So it's a powder.
I think I've seen those Japanese powders online. I think there's a whole store in Tokyo or somewhere that's all pigment powders, and they have.
Yeah. That's called the yancai. Yeah, the pigment colors. We used to carry them, but that's a different kind of painting they do. You don't pour ink like this. Yeah, you can use this way. You know, the way he used. Okay, this is my favorite. What do you think?
Yes, I like that one.
Yeah, it's so natural. It's
That'd be great.
impossible to duplicate because the powder, the you know, just I don't know how, just like it's not very common among, you know, other things here, so it's not controllable. Anyway, so let's see what we need to. You want to do the real lake or the abstract one, or something?
Oh, the abstract one.
The abstract. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just do this one. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to clean up at my table a little bit. You can prepare 3 colors: green, blue, and yellow, indigo, and yeah. I don't. Oh, there's white there. So just prepare some colors accordingly. Let me get some water.
So Henry, if we don't mount the paper, then the paper will get wrinkled when we do the pouring ink.
Yeah, you can use. I find actually unsized paper works better without mounting. For because the sized paper gets more buckling, what do you call it, warping or buckling. So I think you can try this. You know, it doesn't matter. He has some paintings unmounted, so you can just see the more texture of waving. You know, I can show you the difference. Okay.
So we could use like mulberry paper.
You can use mulberry paper. You can use shrine paper. What doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. This is so non-traditional. You have to be creative. So
okay, thank you.
Let me show you what I got, and then you can maybe learn from my experience a little bit. Okay. Let me show you these 2 paintings behind me first. We close that. Okay. This one I did on sized paper. And you can see the way, because when it's wet, it kind of goes like that, right? So it's kind of hard to make it to like a smooth transition. You just create these puddles and the ridges, kind of that. You see this kind of, but it's not a problem. But you can also get very, you know, this part I really like with the thin application. I break the umber with blue, and just before this umber completely dry, it's damp. So it create this kind of flower blossom effect. It suggests forest. They're very nice. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Okay. And I to avoid this kind of pattern, I used the sponge a little bit to create some dotted marks. Okay. But this is obviously not Chang Dai-chien. If I sign Chang Dai-chien, nobody will believe it because Chang Dai-chien don't have this kind of pattern, right? Does that? But lots of amateur painters do have that because they don't mount the paper. This one is on antique paper without sizing, end size, and unmounted, just a single weight antique paper. Because, the reason I use antique paper is close to the gold color, so I can use white, right? How do you like this one? I try to create those particles, but I cannot get it flow because I use the dry pens. You can take it off actually. It's just I think when you mount it, if you wet mount it, it will stick on the table. So I'll dry mount it, maybe. Okay, and you can actually you can dry mount the paper. I haven't tried that. We can do that today. So there's no time to wait for it to dry, right? Another thing we can do is to recycle the old paintings. I have a whole bunch of paintings. I just took from my like I have a storage rack. So some paintings look like Chang Dai-chien's paintings, so I just pour ink. This one I didn't touch yet. This is the early study I did. I think if I just cover this part with ink and just leave this tree, it would look like some of his. I finished this one. You can see it's a little bit dirty because I reworked so many times. It started with crinkle paper on sized paper, and the crinkle texture. It's my own technique, and then I cover up with mineral colors. I did many washes. This is not a Chang Dai-chien, but this is a field sketch. I created a golden paper on semi-sized paper with acrylic. It's the bronze, and then it's kind of difficult to paint on it. The ink does not really show. And this one I kind of like, and maybe I use this one and then maybe this one too. This one was kind of like a Fu Bao Shi style, another master we're gonna study Nanjing school, my hometown Nanjing school artist, Fu Bao Shi's painting. But I added, I covered up, with some pouring ink, and then maybe we can pour more color. So this is a good one. And this one already mounted on. I crinkled the paper. I squeezed the paper to create this kind of texture. Like here I show you how to do that. You can just create a mountain. Create a 3D mountain like this, and then you paint the ridge. You paint the ridge, just like that. I'm not using ink, but you could use ink. So this is how I did this one. Okay. If you guys think it's not so good, I would pour ink and then show some original texture. So
It's very nice.
That
it's
would be
already
very,
nice.
Yeah, that's very nice.
very good.
I like it. Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
too.
No more green and the blues, huh?
Looks great.
You might be able to put greens and blues on it.
I
so-
would do that. I would risk it. Okay. This one just a sketch in the Angeles forest you know, nearby. It's about 25 minutes away from our home. That's some sketches. I did this in Grand Canyon, maybe after returning from the Grand Canyon. And you can see a little bit style after Chen Songye, the next master I'm going to introduce. And this is just a quick study. This could be a candidate. It's on Mulberry #2. And this is a Colorado spring landmark called the Garden of Gods. It's a red rock. It could be, I don't know if that's good for pouring ink. And this one is just abstract, you know, just ink drawing. You can continue to work to make it into a Chang Dai-chien style. This is a kind of cheap paper. It's a Confucius shrine, I think, probably too vulnerable. This one's a hemp paper, got green, blue already. If you don't like it, you know, you can pour some ink to that. And this one has a waterfall, nice. So if I put more dark, the fall will really show, right? So this could be another Chang Dai-chien landscape. I think I did to demo the X cut or something. Yeah, this is on double shrine. So I did this on cold press arches paper, and you can try if you want to try watercolor paper. So we're talking about mounting. Let's say if we want to go with this one, and we would mount it. Oh, I got large. I use a kind of a cheap material you can get from the dollar store. It's called a Daiso. It's for, I think, if it's not to $1.50, it's $3 or something like that for 10 sheets or 5 sheets of this. You can use this to support. Instead of using the drawing board, you can use something heavy. I think it's quite heavy. Well, let's see. Oh, I cannot use this way, so I have to rest this way. You can get a white margin. That's good, so you don't have to use any mat. So I just put my silicone on the support. Okay, first, and then we put the painting on that. So that will give us a stable surface to test. Okay, I'm going to iron this. So we'll try dry mounting. All right, I'm going to iron this silicone paper first, facing down, of course, the silicone film facing the board. This laminate the area. Laminate. This is like create a stick area. But my iron's kind of dirty anyway. Just the experiment. You can put a protecting sheet on that. That's why I will have this sheet ready. So this is a release paper. Comes with the silicone film. And then we put this on. Because there's not much wrinkle, I don't have to spray. I think it's not so big. You can spray a little bit just to relax a little bit, reduce the chance of get wrinkles. and just cover this with the release paper, and then iron it again. This is called method B. I suggest this to all the beginning level mounting student, painting student. If you want to try mount your first work, try this. You will have much more success ratio than wet mounting or other ways. Okay, so I use quite hot today. It's Colin or something. Anyway, it's fast. Let me turn that off so it doesn't burn my. How to unplug that. Okay, so we got this mounted, right? If we need, we can do another one. You can see this kind of dirt is it's not very good, but I suppose it will be covered with net, right? I think it's not very firm here. The remaining heat still works. Okay. Now I just start to wash with the transparent colors. First of all, umber. Yeah, I try to stay with the border, but I don't have to, If I try to do that, it will limit my movement. Oops. See this color, I use this kind of overnight ink or something. When you wet it smears. So be careful with that. Okay, just use a soft brush. And he always start with water. That's why it's really important to go with clean water first, and then soft. And sometimes he use let me turn the camera on so you can see my action here. So he used a little clean water in the head of the brush, so that will soften the edge. While the bottom of the brush is dark. You see, that's how he does that always. He add water on the clean water, and the water may turn some color later, but that's how he does that. Okay, and this part may be a little warm also, and you can watch the whole thing with this. I don't want to waste my umber. I just wash the bare rock area, maybe a little bit there. And then you can add green to get some kind of purple. So I just add a little indigo, maybe indigo here. Indigo, umber, indigo. This is true indigo. How nice. See how smooth. There's no ugly color. My teacher said, don't use tube indigo. It looks like a soy sauce. I don't know how he compared that to soy sauce. I always remember that word when he said that. That's the reason he gave me. So umber and the chip amber and the indigo chip, that's he kept. He used other tube colors like, carmine or all the other colors, but he doesn't use tube indigos. Okay. Oh, he washed the entire sky with some kind of gray. You can mix indigo with rouge, maybe a little. We can just use indigo. Indigo has some kind of purplish feel to it. So his painting has very little unpainted space, right? And you can have some warm near the horizon, maybe. They use in West. They use some kind of ochre, yellow ochre. So let's use some yellow, some. Where is that? Oops. Well, just go with accident. Never. Just let it happen, you know. Okay, so I just got some warm there. All right. Now the green and the blue. So still use indigo to start with, I think. So we already got wet there, so I will wet this area and just paint this wet. So when you apply the green and the blue, it will not be stiff. So the first gray comes first. Where's my chips? I mean my. Yeah. See, you can pour with the oh, it's quite thick. You see how thick it is? It's sink to the bottom. To the bottom looks much intense. I don't know. So that's why the first grade is on the bottom and then third grade is on the top. That's what they said. So I think he used the green first. Does it? Is it first? Okay, so just kind of he brushed it on. He didn't really pour the ink, and just. I think my glue is too much, but I'll see how I can recreate these particles, because the glue may be a chief player for the particles. In my experience, I think the more glue you've got, maybe more particles, because it separates the particles. You can always use more water to break it, to create the flow, to make it look more natural, not stiff, you know. Oops. Don't paint, Henry. It's pouring, look like pouring, but he'd actually painted. You see, it doesn't buckling like I had yesterday without mounting, but you might pop because the adhesive is not waterproof. I think it's. I see it's, you know, maybe something will happen, but that's okay. So what about this part? You can have some yellow in it, because this is closer to you. So let's just do some yellow, indigo, and I had this ready made from yesterday, indigo and yellow. So you can put more indigo if you want more of that. I think mounted paper does make a great difference. I can feel it. It's so different. If you have to mount it. Yes, you have to mount it. You dry mount it like I did. You can do that, right? Okay, and now I pour some more, just for fun. Let's see. Okay, we have large, small, or you can have this as large. but I want to keep maybe, you know, I don't want to have all the everywhere, you know, with this shimmering color. So we want some shady part, just black. And I like the transparency on top of that. You can add a little, it doesn't, but very diluted, I think. Just to echo a little bit there. So in, yeah, you can have what the theory says. In the contrary, the contradictions of opposites, dense, sparse, concentration, disperse, that kind of thing, right? And you can also think in yin-yang terms, like this is the inside, this is the yang side contrast. So this is more inside, this is the inside, this is the yang side. But as long as you follow the way, the Tao, you'll find it's it follows, you know, the natural. If you just follow this how the water works, how the yeah, how the yin yang, the light works. The Chinese doesn't have the single source of light. I like it. What do you think? But this part, I don't know if it's just the water stand, I think. Water stand, you would like to. Not too bad.
It's wonderful.
Thank you. So
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, looks great.
I need more
I like it.
greens on this side.
Maybe a little bit, because
I
then it
think-
would help to not have those two bright greens almost even. It would bring, yeah, I think it would balance it more. Nice.
So abstract painting has everything just like a realist painting, right? So you deal with the same design issues, balancing, contrast, that kind of concentration, grouping, things like that. So we just do a little. Yeah, he's very deliberate. Everything is under his control. But it looks like you know, just like I create an old looking seal. I make the seal look very, you know, like a 1,000-year-old relic. But it's really, you know, a design of that. It's a taste. So you just have to, you know, sometimes I think this kind of painting like the broken pottery in the museum, they repair it. You know, when I was an archaeologist, they do this, and we put a white platter, and what they call this limestone pottery, what they call that white thing, as a repair to that, and we don't color it, right? We just leave it, and it looks like a broken pottery repaired, you know, right? It's an old or some. You know, you don't have to really restore the old as a new. So just keep it missing part. You know, keep the missing part. It's just like the Greek statues or something. You may missing an arm, but still, where your imagination will give you more room for imagination. Yeah. Okay. That's a successful demo. We can sign John Dai-chien.
Yeah.
Later, let me try this, because John Dai-chien always sign his piece with his name, but even though it's a fake. But sometimes he tried to forward the
Henry, where would you sign your name on that piece since it's
we'll decide later, Charlie.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
do that
See,
before the class. Yeah, let's do another one.
okay.
Before it dries, it's not finished yet. It will. I'll show you the result after it dries. Let me see. I got this mounted piece. Okay, you saw this video I sent you, right? Let me see if I can make
Which video?
the video of mounting this last
Yeah.
night. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I did this for today's class. The room has to be. Okay, let me put this.
You need a helper.
I try to manage the one-man show.
You need your wife and your daughter.
Okay, let me put
I was amazed at how many wives he had at the same time.
well, I consider you guys, the audience, is a helper too, because it's better than I paint all by myself. Okay, let me try to create a surface with this angle. Okay, let me see, would that help? Maybe I use an easel, it would be easier. My easel is downstairs. I'll just tape it maybe. Okay. So this at 30 degree, maybe less. This is better, huh? Good. I can just hold it. Okay, let me just put I have this silicone somewhere. I forgot. Anyway. So on this board, I have mounted two pieces. One is the one you saw in the video. One thing I forgot after the demo is that I didn't put insert into on the back. So I'm afraid that the paint will penetrate through, even though it's glued, I mean, it's pasted with Allen, it will still penetrate. It will stain the board. Do you think? Let me quite. Can you mute yourself if you're not speaking? I cannot see my controls here. Okay, just unmute yourself. Okay, so later I decide to try another one. This time I put the waxing, the shining piece from the silicone paper, the release paper. I used the silicone paper. It's like a pastry paper kind of thing. Underneath this, so I'm now ready to pour ink without to worry about ink stain the board. You think that's a good idea? You can also put your design, like I did with a Gombi or a bonus painting. You can have a design underneath it on the backing, so you have the template. That's a good idea, right? So I just put it behind. When I paste this, it's still uneven, but with the stretch, you can see it's perfect flat. All right. So what he did first was the water, and the water is not a random application. It has to do with the shape of the mountain. Okay, in this case, I think it's vertical, huh? Can we just do it horizontally? I think we can, right? So we just have to worry about where that focal point is. Could be on this side or that side, this, not in the middle. So let's do a small C on top. Okay, and then just a big slope, the dark slope, and then that tall, that little peak, needle peak, whatever you call that, is there. Okay, and this he used a very dry brush. I noticed in the documentary, and he can see the drawing. You know, maybe on the video you cannot see. You can see a little bit mark, right? And that actually is my draft. So this is.
So are you using water to paint?
Yeah, just clean water. So I kind of prepare the surface also. You can, I think basically it's his drafting. The water at this point cannot be too much, because too much water, it would not make the, the paper will not take more. So it's pretty dry brush. Yeah, just do a sketch, and you can, when it's dry, there's nothing, so you don't have to worry about anything. So I'll make a little V there, just because I have more room. There's a blue mountain, so I just create, maybe not a perfect straight line there, but I have a V shape, kind of like this, and here's the thing like this. You see my idea, right? So this is a turn here. That's the turn. What they call the yin yang. This is yang, the yin and yang. This is yang, and this is dark. This part is dark, and that's the peak. The peak is peak is actually on this spot. So this is a triangle shape. Here, triangle shape. Here's another triangle shape. And here's a triangle shape right there. So you can make any mistakes with this water brush, all right? My weather is so dry, it's already dried already. So this is sloped. So I'm looking at the original, and I'm thinking about the composition, and then I'm thinking about the paths I'm going to take. Okay, now I'm using the same brush. This time, let me pour some ink here, and I can use blue ink diluted with water to start with. Then we'll add the darker ink, not blue ink, maybe just regular ink. The blue ink could be diluted just 30, 40 times, supposed to be. But if you use intensity, it will be very dark. I can try. I think we can do that. So he started with a very dark, right on top, just like that, just like this. Pure ink. And he was changed to a small brush. Okay, let's do another one, just a little bit. Bring it down. I think I need the momentum like that. Yeah. And let's see. Because I changed the composition to horizontal, so I may need another. Just emphasize that little we call it the guest or supporting peak. So I don't reload, I just keep going maybe. You see, I already got this because the water, that's his secret. See, I already have that effect without interfering with another brush. Oh, good, I'm so glad this going to work. My bottom of the brush is water only, so I just continue with the same brush. just continue. Just continue. Dry brush, wet brush. Some line is needed. Otherwise, there's no bone. And here's where it's subtle. I need to be a little careful. Okay. Let me see what I need to lead that. Let me mimic his steps. So he used a clean brush, just water, maybe not too much water, and he just introduced the ink from there. Just kind of make it softer. And because this is going to be covered with because he has this paper is so absorbent. He has a pool of ink when he started. I see the shininess of that. So that ink gives the supply of this this light. You know, it just goes down like that. Now I just fake it. Okay, just like that. It takes time for the ink to come in. Oh, don't paint. It will destroy the rhythm. So, now let's do that little peak. It's very important. We can add it later, but because I try to wash it. Otherwise, we cannot go through this. You know, we can. What about? But the white has to be on that. Let's do this. Okay, let's just finish the ink first. Every ink first. And I feel this dark here is not dark enough, so I just add a little more dark. When the ink is not dark enough, the color won't show as intense, as vibrant as he did. So this is why the ink must be dark. But it's hard to keep it the rhythm. You know, if you didn't do it in one time, you have to fake it. Suppose you did in one time. Okay, and let's just use this light ink. Let's see, I can use another bowl for the light because if I may need dark later. So let's find another container. Can find it. I just use my common sense. So I use clean brush, and then I depends on if I want hard edge, I load the ink on the tip. If I need a softer edge, I load the ink on the bottom. Then leave the brush tip with clean. Okay, so now I'm going to do this this little needle peak. It's just a silhouette, no drawing. That's good. So let's just do that. But this has a strong contrast. It's much lighter. However, you don't want to, because this paper has a tint or color. You don't want to be too light. You have to depend on your experience. You have to just be the right grade of tone. Okay, let's do this. It's pretty close, almost like an extension of this peak that breaks this sharp tip into. You could do it in a in several strokes, but I try to do it in one. That's a calligraphy technique, just like that. Not repeat too much. Okay, and I just push the brush and then just suggest some mountains behind. And it can go beyond beyond that sky line, or what do you call this, is top edge, because that's the modern style. You know, in ancient times you don't do this, but if we see that in the Greek, the lake view, that's what I'm trying to do. I think there's a lake here. You know, you got mountains. So this is almost like C shape. That's good. Let's just do that. So I just wash a little bit for the clouds, the white clouds, to show later. Or maybe this is too much. Then I have to create this distant mountain. I think that's just excellent, because I did this too heavy. I have to have a kickback. Just my chi flows like that. I just follow the chi in this case. Oops, another mistake. And I see a diagonal there, right there. That's a nice Y shape. So the attention leads to this area. Okay. And some trees, maybe whatever, and then clouds. We should have an eye stopper here. So another hill, maybe in the distance. Okay, that's my composition almost. It's like a tonal study of composition. And to prepare, you need to make this part even darker, I think. Okay, I got too much interference on the natural forces of water. Okay. Now, you need to make let it dry normally, but he used the time to do little details. Should we do any details on this painting? He does a tree somewhere, you know, on the bottom. I think there's a pine tree. Yeah, there's a pine tree on in this area, so we can do that.
Isn't that supposed to be his signature, having some kind of a little something or other?
Yeah, his signature on the corner above here. So he has a kind of you can have some kind of line. You know, we need some. You can use a small stiff brush to do that details. We can do that later. Let's see. The main thing is the blue and the ink stuff, right? So we need to let it dry. But some parts we can start doing if it's soft into, you know, wet into wet. So we can use, I hate to do the white first. It will make it, well, white and black actually could work. You know, I try to do this like this. Any moment when I stop is a good painting. Does that make sense to you? So I can stop right now, you know, right?
I think it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, thank you. So that's the reason we need to look at your painting, you know, not the copy, not the original. Constantly, you can stay at, yeah, it's good to look into the camera. The image on my screen is much clearer than what actually in front of me, because I see too much details. I just exhausted the plate. That's the only reason I'm keep doing this. I need to change color maybe. See, that's why I just clean this. Sometimes it give you, you know, we say to treat ink as gold. Means, you know, you don't have a whole bowl of black ink. You won't make any good painting out of that. And also, pouring ink is the opposite of the first attitude. So when needed, you need to just pour it, you know, pour it. Yeah, that's how, if you combine these two, both treating the ink as a gold, so you really very considerate, very careful with very economic, minimalist, you know, with almost with your ink, then you will have a good painting. You just, everything is like in one stroke, literally one load. You know, this brush, maybe just, you know, you finish everything without reloading. Then you have dark from dark to light naturally, you know. Ah, I got the line there. I think there's some tree on top. Anyway, I'm going to deal with that later. Not get into details too early. This is just water. It's going to dry away. So let me just dry everything. So we set the ink. What's the time? Do I have enough time to finish? Okay, we only have 8 minutes. Let's keep going. So next I'm going to do the, I think it's okay to, let me just iron it. What about that? So we can pick a spot and iron it. So I just iron this, you know, the part I want to set, this focal area. I don't want it further blur or something. This other part could be softer, so I don't need to worry about that. I want this part to be crystal sharp. That grab your attention. See the steam? That creates some nice texture too. The steam creates some, oh, that's very interesting. Dai-chien didn't do this, but you can see the little steam traces. That's nice. So then if you like it, you know, don't do it. Don't iron anymore. Just use hair dryer. So hair dryer and iron has different hair dryer also can blow the paint when you have a puddle. So be careful with that too. Yesterday I had to wait for hours because I don't want to destroy the puddle pattern, you know. Okay, let me put this aside. Let me show you how this goes. You see the puddle is still wet, right? That's our first painting. Okay, I'm going to turn on this noise, and it won't take too long. I think it's already almost dry. So maybe half minutes. Okay, sorry about the noise. Now it's completely dry. Okay, now I'm going to wash with indigo again. Okay, this is my indigo, but it's not too much. Oh, got some ink. That's good. Let me just add some ink. You know, if it's not enough, the ink is not enough. Look like this is the water goes up. It is it's not very bad, but I think we try to keep it down. So let me just do this. Let me create some shapes. Okay.
So it's water?
Ink. Just remaining ink on the big brush you have.
Okay.
I just added ink because my ink is not enough. Look like so. I just wet it with little ink, light ink. But you don't want to have a flat ink. This will be covered though. Just have some more ink. Nice. This is light ink, so it's not very dark. Okay, and now this time we do it wet into wet like we did. And then we will add indigo after that, I think. So we have, we just use the good ones. Let me see, where's that? This one, and this is the blue. So, okay, here. Now I just use my sponge, okay, to create this particles. If we want to, I think my glue is a little bit thick. That's good though, you know, it's easy to create the particles. It's thick. Oh, he got blue, not greens, huh? Anyway, I got green. This is the green part. And he got more greens on the, I already have the brown on the paper from the manufacturer. That's good. So I skipped the step where you got bronze, right? So let's get some light minerals. I have this third grade from the tube. That's the color he used on this part, I think. Okay, I got dripping. That's coming. That's coming. Good. Okay. That's about it. And here's the turn, right? The turn. Actually, you can restart another puddle. It's considered big and the medium, maybe a small on this part. You know, that's the idea. Yeah, this could be another. Okay, this part. No, the dark. The dark. Let's just use the peacock blue from the tube. Oh, good. Oh, I need that water. I need that water. Oh, drips on my table. Okay, let me stop that here. Okay, just stop on the table, it's fine. Okay. Yeah, just lots of water. Oops. Try to avoid staining my cabbage. So just. Okay, I think it's a little bit messy here, but it's okay. It's still under control. Okay, I need to have some dark. Let me just use brush to apply these dark greens. Well, I like the black shows in that, but he has some dark in the middle of the light, right? So we try to. It's kind of hard to paint the effect, but you have to go with what you have. Try not to reproduce. He cannot do it even himself, right? Okay, this part basically is a black spot. Okay. And we can have a little more green here. It's vegetation on the bottom. So there's more snow on top usually, more cool colors. And I see a little kind of reverse, something like that, movement. Okay, that's for the vegetation. I'm too careful, I think. It should be the whole thing in one blob. Let me turn the iron off. Okay, let's see. We need to do the background. This part is a little weak, I think. I would, like he did, smear the mountain foot, kind of goes up a little bit, I think. Just soften it. It goes up a little bit. Okay. And then goes out. Abstract art. Okay, here has to be I just squeeze out the paint to create the flow. And I think you can also spray if it's too dry. Spray some water. That will help. He didn't use the sprayer. Okay, all right. I think this part could be a little purple. Let's try to get lavender color. I think we have to use a little tube color to get that. So it's a little rouge. A little bit rouge mixed with maybe just this. Okay, too much. But you have to consider the background is brown. So that's a challenge. I got the color right, but it's too intense. I need to soften. And you'd rather apply in multiple times. So I just add water to the tip of the brush, like he does, like that. And you can leave some unpainted space it will show the bottom, the paper color for the brown, right? So that's how easy it is. And you can, oops, let's say I didn't dilute it. Then I just add water to the tip, add water to the tip. Just go fast. I think sometimes you have to take a risk with the speed. Okay, and just pour some color there. Let's have some colors echo here. It would be nice. Oops, I got that's a nice accident. I like that. Really like that. The corner really shows the rock.
Yeah, I like that mistake.
You need that. Okay, so you may need some dark ink here, but do we need the white? I don't think so. Maybe we can live without that. Just be careful with the. Okay, we can link them. Why not? Just doing that. Okay. You can have some accent of bronze. Remember, I have the color from the Winston. Let me see if I can find that. Windsor's burnt. Oh, here. I have to find underneath it. Okay, I have the burnt sienna, which is a very nice color. I'm going to use that here. It's darker, it's brighter than the ground. You should see that. I just paint it flat because it has the ink, but you don't cover the ink. You don't cover the ink. You just have some here. I like this part, so I put some red color there to call your attention. And then I put some contrast color around the green margin. You know, you can create some. This is complementary to the blue, orange, right? Orange is to contrast with the blue. Chang Dai-chien didn't do this. He used indigo around the blues, so it's kind of a harmony of the same family color. I try to use more contrast color here. Okay. So we just add a little. This could be done beforehand, so you don't have to fill in the blanks. like here, I kind of struggle with, we can just do this like that. So the contrast is here. We don't have to create this part as second focus, right? I'm still thinking what to do with the white clouds, if we need it or not. Depends on what time we have. We can do that. Okay, let's see. We can put the clouds here, I feel more. Or you can use some green clouds. Like he used some blue, some blue clouds in the distance. So just kind of like a mist or something, but not too concrete. Oops. Some different shade. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the card C or something, and that will be. So I'll be a little over time. What time is it now? No, it's a 41 already. What about? Okay, I'll finish with white. Okay, white. And we can use some thin white on the top. Let me see, I just do this here to test. Oh, like that. Oops, it comes in like a waterfall. Waterfall, how do you like it? How do you like this waterfall, guys?
I like it.
Like it.
Completely surprised.
It's still water falling.
Excellent. It's good.
I like
you.
it. Did you thin your white before you used it or just use it?
I just use it. I have a sponge.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, if you have the experience with the, remember the picture I showed you with the clouds in the middle of the mountain? Well,
Well, I
Yeah.
think it looks nice, actually.
Thank you. I got some fall there. I don't know what it's you know, whatever. It's a snow, maybe snow top or something, it's glacier. You know, it's Sweden or Switzerland, right? Or Austria, whatever. We have been in the Geneva, what do you call that mountain? Alpes, right? Yeah, we see these glaciers in person 4 years ago in France. Maybe a little bit offhand. I don't know. It just create another fall there. Interesting.
It's still dripping.
I know what I need to. I just let it go, I think. So this is the lake. That lake. Oops. Another one. Okay. Let me stop by. You can iron it. I just put it on level. I think that's the best way to stop it. Just like that, right? You know. And if you don't like it after it dries, you can minimize it. Just make it more into like a waterfall, a real waterfall. But you don't want to paint it right now because that will make it muddy, more muddy. Yeah. So I'll level it and then I'll show you the result afterwards. And here is the first painting. I'm going to show you how to sign this to finish. Okay. Bear with me another minute to. Okay. I just use a small whistle brush to sign, I think. I need to get some more.
This painting is really nice,
Thank you. My first painting, huh? Yeah, first painting is nice.
really nice.
I like it. That's a good demo. Oops. Okay, we got it dark. So I will say 仿 or 你 means in his style, not exactly copy. This is not a copy. It's based on a painting I did 10 years ago. I just retouched it. So, but I call this a tribute, or you can still say 致敬Dai-chien, homage to Chang Dai-chien. I think we just said that as we did before. If you just sign your name, it will be right here, I think. Or we can write on this side. It's kind of hard to decide. What do you think? If you just write the year and maybe homage to Chang Dai-chien on top, that was good balance. Right?
That's
Yeah.
good.
Do
Yeah.
you ever sign lighter ink, like in a white or anything, or just you would always use black?
Black.
Yeah.
This is still wet, so I have to be careful. 致敬. It's still wet. I just use his full name, Chang Dai-chien. Okay. I think maybe we just write all the way down and put a seal there. Let's see. I think we just end it here. This is okay. Chang Dai-chien. This year of the year of 辛丑. 辛丑 means the metal buffalo or ox. 辛丑. 可以小灰. Let's make it short. Okay, now the seal. It's still wet, so it's kind of hard to write. I think the white border really help to show the painting, right?
It really pops. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a mounted. It is. So you mount it first. Yeah. This is silicone paper. It does not change absorbency that much, but it helps to keep it flat, as you see. Okay, seal. It's kind of dark there, but you can see the red spot maybe. You can put a second seal there. I don't have an idea. I just leave it for now. You can also paint a boat or some details if you like, but I think it's nice. I see a
Can you do a mood seal there?
mood seal. Yeah, I don't have.
Would that work?
Which seal?
A mood seal.
Yeah, you could put okay, let me find that seal. Sorry, I can't find it. I have a seal. It says coming from heart or something like that. But I'll find something there. You know, I think it's okay without it. It's not. It's not as complete. I think. Let me see. Yeah.
Henry,
Yeah.
are you familiar with Chang? I think that's his name. He's
Who?
Chang or something like that. He's a Chinese watercolor artist. And he used to, what he would do was put the seal on a piece of rice paper, you know,
Yeah.
the white rice paper, and glue it if it was on a dark part of the painting.
Yeah, I see that, but it's usually they do that on gombi painting, on elaborate style painting.
I see. Okay.
Someone's calling, could be junk, so I'm not going to take. I think this natural gap has to be wide, you know. So I think that's what he got there. So I'm just filling that space. So it has energy coming from the sky into the mountain, kind of meets there. It has to be soft though. Okay. You know, you can also use gold as an option to break other colors or ink. I used gold on the black. It's pretty good the other day. You can use a little detail on this one, just some mustaches suggesting trees, but you know, just like a pine tree, something like that. It's just like a character.
That really adds to it. That really helps.
Yeah, people think it's a pine tree. Yeah, it's just actually just a few dots and a bar that represents the pine tree. And if it's not working, you can just use your finger to change that. And I think it would be nice to frame that a little bit, you know, so it's not a accident anymore. It's a water for a glacier, whatever. And that fall actually doesn't really shows that's okay. So this part is it's nice. Okay.
What color of gold?
Gold is a yellow, brown kind of. You want to use a color to simulate gold? It's
yeah. If you were to use gold on this,
orange, yellow kind of, yellow, orange, that kind of color. It's warm, right? Or cold? I forgot. It could be yellow ochre, I think. But on landscape, you don't have to use true color, true gold color. But I see the two is kind of similar, so I maybe just paint it like that to change the proportion. Like, all right. That's all for today. I'm going to just sign later when it's dry. Maybe a short inscription could be hidden somewhere, maybe under this rock somewhere. Yeah.
Looks great.
Thank you. Thank you for staying late with me.
Once you put a mat on it too,
Matt. Oh,
will you
yeah.
know,
You can see without it that instant. When it's dry, I cut it off so it will be straight, not the messy edges anymore.
yeah.
So, and this, yeah.
When they have those, after the ink, liberal ink dries, if you end up with, like, I noticed he was doing a lot of work around the edges to soften. That all happens after it dries. Is that right?
No, you can see he softened the edge before it dries. He used mineral green, blue, dark, or even indigo. I think he used the dark blue to contrast, to define the greens, and there was indigo behind. So sometimes the indigo is pushed to the edge also naturally. It creates a puddle rim with a dark. That could happen with a different paper. The paper he used is the size paper. I think I do not have enough moisture. It's kind of dry, but it shows through some dark there. It's kind of nice, it's different than Dai-chien's. But just show you the Henry's version, maybe.
Henry.
Henry's modern Chang Dai-chien.
Yeah, just inspired by him.
Henry,
Yeah.
how thick did you mix the paint? Were they very thick?
This is quite thick. It's already become you can
So
see.
it's almost like a gel.
Yeah, it's a gel. I think that the glue is kind of too much. I didn't have. You could dilute it a little more. You don't need that much, but that creates more texture. The more glue you have, the less glue you will be more flowing. So
What about the ink? Did you thicken the ink?
no, I didn't. This ink is really concentrated. This ink is a blue ink bottle. It's comes in concentrate form. You can dilute it 40 times to get the white tone, to show the blue tone. It has a blue tone in it. It's
because I think I have my ink too thin, not thick enough.
Oh, you need to grind the ink. Yeah, you can grind the ink, bottle the ink to get the dark, especially on the colored paper. Okay. You need to, or on golden paper, you need to grind the ink. Yeah, always grind the ink in addition to the bottle.
Oh.
Right. So we can add a little dark there just to balance it, I think.
Henry, do you add ground ink to bottled just to thicken it?
I don't add, I just grind it on the ink stone. I use the bottled ink as water, so to speak. So
okay. Okay.
Do you have time for critiques?
Oh, sure. Let me take a look at yours. Oh, you already did something, huh? Let me see. Let me sit down here. Okay, Lisa Curry.
Yeah.
Make a spotlight. Okay, now, oh, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I like the composition. You have a mountain range with a peak and everything. Very good. I like that. The bronze on the left side could be a little
over here.
You may add some green to that, just to mix up some, overlap some colors. It would be nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, all the white could have some subtle grays. You can just use, if it's still wet, you can use a clean brush to make, to, you know, just like Dai-chien, to blur the white a little bit. Also, the foot of the mountain could be softer on the right side. Yeah,
Oh.
you can soften the foot a little bit. It looks like a highway turn. If that is the case, you need to define the highway, just like he did with one of his putting pen. Yeah, it would be nice to have a highway kind of suggestion of highway turn. It looks like that. Yeah, I like that idea. And you can have the highway on the left. That's the turn, and starting on this middle left, you can have a little suggestion of highway. That there's a line, looks like a roadside. You see, you can just define the slope with a little dry brush and draw the slope, you know, in the front. And then people will imagine there are turners crossing all the way, and then to the left, just like he did with his painting. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is wonderful. Good to see your. Thank you for sharing the exhibition experience with us.
It's fun.
Yeah. Okay, let's replace with pink ones. Make replace. Okay. Oh, yeah. Your paper is a little fuzzy because it's a double strand or something.
It's a mulberry.
Mulberry. Oh, mulberry. Yeah. You need to be. That's very common. If you paint wet into wet for too long and then use a stiff brush with too heavy stroke, that happens. As soon as that happens, just stop, let it dry before you continue. So don't keep working wet into wet. Dry between the washes, very important.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just to avoid that, the little, you can dust it off, you know, with when it's dry, you can remove those fibers. Otherwise, it's very nice. You can use more water with the paint, so it will flow instead of you paint it on. So that will also avoid those textures, the fuzzy textures. Yeah, just pouring, literally using a little saucer to pour instead of.
But when pour, it doesn't cover the ink, right? It's very.
You have to use thick enough, like 100%, maybe 80% to cover the dark. And then you use light, use diluted color to draw, you know, to guide it to lighter part. So you start with very pure on the black directly. If the black is not dry, you cannot really cover it. It would just be vanished in the black.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Comet, do you have anything?
Well, I tried what you did using one of my old painting, but it's very wet.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to do.
So I
wish I had more time to show you.
Yeah, I really did the pouring.
Yeah. Okay. Nice color. Nice painting to start with. That's a nice river view. Okay.
Yeah, it's very wet. I'm afraid it's gonna fall.
Don't try to break it. Okay. Let me see who else we have. Daisy, you ready to show?
Mine is, it's super wet. I don't.
Okay. You cannot lift it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll see it in the.
Yeah, I'll post it. Well, I'll post stuff later. Thank you, Henry.
Emily, do you have anything you can show?
No, not yet, but I'll post it later.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's about it. Next week, we'll have a co-host or guest, a granddaughter of Chen Songyan, and we'll study her grandfather's style, Rock and the Pines. I'll send you the information, and you can check his name on YouTube. I mean on Google. He has a video I have, but it's not on YouTube. I'll show you in the class with a little bit clip of his painting. It's very treasurable to have this material from the family members. So I'm very looking forward to the next one. Let me see if any questions in the chat room I need to answer. And and left early. Okay, no questions. No, I'm going to leave.
Well, thank you very much, Henry. It was a great session.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
It's a real
you.
challenge for, I know
Thank
it's
you.
very difficult to learn, to copy.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you. Thank you for all your
Thanks.
An
support.
excellent class.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Charlie.
it was great. See you next week.
See you.
Yes.
Okay, let me stop recording. See you next time. Bye.